All right. Charlie Burris, Jonathan Crompton, former Vols quarterback Jonathan Crompton, the A to Z Sports Big Orange halftime reaction show. Tennessee 20, Mississippi State 7. I know the graphic on the screen is wrong. Tennessee scored as time ran out in the half there, and I'm trying to get the correct one made. And we had to hop on here too quick. I'll have it in just a second. Tennessee literally scored too quickly there. But Cromp, I mean, overall, a half where you're probably playing down to your competition in some sense, but you're also, Mississippi State is a pretty abysmal team. Let's be honest about it. You're up by 13. But I think the big story, Dylan Sampson goes down, looks to be injured to some extent, and that's horrifying. And please say every prayer you possibly can for his ankle. What's up, Cromp?
Oh, kind of a typical game we kind of figured we'd have.
Yeah. Like, at this point, this is it, isn't it?
If you look at I'm looking at Mississippi State, we're right on par. Their schedule, we're right on par for scoring about their average amount of points a game or that they're giving up.
Yep.
Somewhere in the mid 40s. We 3 games in a row fumbling inside the, in our red zone. Can't have that happen. We talked about that last week. Can't have that. So, in all honesty, it should be, in my mind, 27. But, that's just part of it. I don't think we played lights out. I don't think we played horrible. But I don't think we've played flawless, if I'll say it that way. I'm just not 100% sold. And I've said this for a while. I'm not sold on what we're doing offensively.
In what? Get specific there. What's happening? Because the running game is not working, and Mississippi State gave up 200 yards on the ground to UMass last week.
We got 28 rushes for 111. So, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Yes, we are a run first team. I do like that aspect because we can control, you typically can control the ball, control the clock, control how long you are or are not on the field if you really need to, if you run effectively. I just like watching other teams play, like just the creativity. For instance, right here on my phone, LSU, Alabama. We don't do a whole lot of, I'm not saying you got to get tricky, but if we're going to run inside zone or what's called split zone, where your tight end is on this side and your tailback, and they literally split. Tight end blocks defensive end, tailback runs inside zone. We do run that a good amount. Well, then why don't we do an easy fake inside zone, tight end slip, fake block on the defensive end, little bend back block and slip and go to the backer and linebacker and run a little quick reverse to squirrel. Just something. And I'm saying, and that's not a crazy, oh my God, what are you doing? Just stuff like that. Like I said, there's no one specific thing that I'm not like pleased with because we're winning the game. We're up 20-7. We're going to score. We'll probably score 45 or 50 against them.
Yeah.
I just want to see us have something in our arsenal for when we get to next week and we have, you know what I'm saying? I guess that's where I'm coming from.
Yes. We've been saying exactly that for who knows at this point, where you look at what they're doing and it just seems obvious where you go, just mix it up a little bit and throw in a little misdirection. And it just feels like you could really open this thing up pretty wide. This person, it's an anonymous account. They asked, are they keeping it vanilla to not show George anything? What? Everything's on tape at this point. You've played games where you're throwing everything at an opponent. And
that's if we're going to play Georgia week 2, we could definitely have that conversation. 100%.
Maybe
right now, not game number 9.
I mean, I hope it's that. I hope they have something waiting in the wings that's going to be funky, especially if Dylan Sampson's not going to be able to play. And please, please, please let him be all right. Oh my sweet goodness!
Yeah, we don't need to overreact on that because we hadn't heard any of the extent of it. He walked off the field.
He did.
But I don't know. I guess, like this person just said, I feel, and they're right. It feels vanilla at the moment. But then again, we felt that way for about 4 or 5 weeks now. It's just something, and I'm not saying we got to go and literally draw it in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not just go make something up crazy off the wall, but you can have nuances and little small wrinkles that change things up. That's nothing crazy for you, but it throws the defense off just enough that you might crease them for an extra 15.
Yeah. I just want to see anything like that, because I think it is going to take things in that vein to beat Georgia. Like, yeah, and in this one, ultimately, yeah, you're probably gonna be fine because Mississippi State is just so bad. But you gotta have some juice for Georgia, and so I mean, I think you gotta. It feels ridiculous. You're up by 13, 20-7, your best offensive half of football in 4 or 5 weeks.
Yes, but against the worst team we've played since Chattanooga.
Yes, I mean the defense for Mississippi State. I mean the DB on that big play to Dante Thornton. I mean he tries to make a play on the ball and just falls down. and like that's what Mississippi State's working with this year. That's just like what it is for them.
I do like this comment from John Doe. It says, make it make sense. Run up the middle seems to be the only run plays we know. Funny thing is they're running on a loaded box. 100% agree with that. 100% agree. And I'll explain that in a second. If we're going to spam inside zones, then go 4 wide, spread them out. Totally agree with that comment. 100%. So for a lot of people, just in case you don't know what a loaded box is means you're outnumbered in the box. If you got 7, they've got 8. If you like that type of deal. I 100% agree with that statement. We are running the ball effectively against a loaded box. We are, but why not give ourselves a little bit friendlier deal and go 3x1 or 2x2, spread them out, and RPO inside run. If we got 5 in the box with just 5 linemen and they've got 6, RPO a slant. That's what Alabama did and won a national championship.
Well, and you saw there near the end of the half that Nico finally kept the ball and went for a really nice little run there.
And I don't know how many times they're allowing him to keep it.
Yeah, I think there's a limit there.
Because I don't know if they're actually calling it for a read or a keep or an RPO. But when it does, it is effective. But, I mean, I just did the math. We're only running the ball at 3.9 yards a carry right now. That is not effective for Tennessee football.
No.
I mean, we got 111, but we got 28 rushes right now. We're the most effective when we're at 5.5 to 5.9 or more yards a carry. So we're about 2 full yards short per carry of where we really like to be sitting.
Well, I'll turn from the offense. I mean, we can kind of talk that one into the ground, and ultimately you're up by 13 points.
Yeah.
The defense on that one drive, a demoralizing. I think it was. I don't know the amount of plays, probably like 15 plays, 85 yards, just ran it straight down the gullet. Like, just a pretty ugly drive for Tennessee's defense. The rest of the time, they played pretty well in that half. But Van Buren is they're losing contain, and he is running.
First of all, he is running for his life.
He is.
Give that kid some credit. He's not a bad quarterback. He just got nothing around him.
Yeah.
Stats
got more to go.
Stats are very skewed. He's 7-19. Some of those throwaways, so I don't look at that part of it. I like his mobileness, but what have we talked about all year? What gives us some sort of fits? Mobile quarterbacks.
Yep.
I mean, we've given up 93 rushing yards in the first half to the worst team in the SEC.
Good news is, moving into next week, Carson Beck is not that at all.
You're right. He is a sitting duck in the pocket.
Yeah, he fumbled the ball 15 times today and had pressure on him all day. So yeah, the defense, I'm not particularly worried, even though that drive, these things are going to happen. And to your point there, their primary weakness is against those more mobile quarterbacks, and here we are. So anything else in that first half before we move to the paid segment, Crump, that stuck out to you outside of, I mean, again, let's be praying for Dylan Sampson. Hope he's good to go. I would say even if he is good to go, don't play him for the rest of this game. I don't think you need him, and let him sit.
There's no need to at this point. But did I hear Bishop is out too?
Yes, he's out for this game. That was pre-game.
Yeah, so I mean, at this point, it's actually probably not the worst. Peyton Lewis gets you some freaking carries, buddy.
Yeah, and Peyton Lewis, Cam Seldon. Cam Seldon was in on, I think, that last drive, the second to last drive there. And some good news here. David Woodward says it in the comments. Max Gilbert made a couple of field goals there. That was good to see.
No, that was good. And that last field goal, you could see how low his confidence was, because a 38-yarder, and he celebrated like he just hit. I mean, hey, kickers, they're different up here. So I'm not mad at it, but I'm just telling you that's a good thing for his confidence. But you could tell how low it was because of that celebration.
You got to see the ball go through the net, and he did in that first half. So hopefully that can carry over going forward, and you don't have another game like you did against Kentucky. But let's move on to this. Of course, we gotta pay our bills here, and our segment brought to you by Zin Sports is the "Who are you betting on to carry Tennessee to a victory? What player will it be?" A lot of weeks it's Dylan Sampson. I think he's probably not going to be back in this one. Like I said, even if he's okay, don't play the kid. Hey, don't risk it. Don't need to. I don't think. And so who would it be? Who would you bet on to carry Tennessee to a victory today against Mississippi State? And we'll talk about that right after I tell you the good folks at Zin Sports. It's never too early to start thinking about the big game. And this November, Zin Sports, the new sportsbook in Tennessee, has launched a brand new sweepstakes for its Tennessee customers, the Big Game Sweepstakes. You could win a grand prize of 2 tickets to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans, or $10,000 cash. But Zin Sports also has 50 additional prizes, which include 2 tickets to any Tennessee sporting event, or $100 cash. If you want in on the action, you can earn multiple entries every day just by betting on the Zin Sports app. For every bet you place, you'll earn 1 entry, and for every dollar you bet, earn an additional entry. And if you like parlays, earn double the entries on every parlay placed. What are you waiting for? When you sign up for Zin Sports, you'll automatically earn up to $100 no danger first wager. If your bet loses, you'll be reimbursed for the amount up to $100. Start betting with Zin Sports and download their app today. Zin Sports. Betting just got better. Your no danger first wager is limited to plus 500 odds to qualify. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. A qualifying wager for wager entry must have minimum odds for any leg of at least minus 250. Minus 251 odds do not qualify. Go to zinsports.com/sweepstakes for all terms and conditions. You must be 21 or older in Tennessee to bet. Crump, where are we going? I think it's sort of been every week we go like Dylan Sampson has just been the most obvious answer, and he's been the guy that carries you. Realistically, not an option in the second half, I assume. Where are we going? Who's carrying Tennessee?
I'm gonna go with what I just said a second ago. Get him some carries. I'm gonna go Peyton Lewis and kind of see how he grows up over the course of the game. He got his first touchdown last week. So I really want to see the growth there to give us some depth for down the road, because in our system you do need depth at running back. So if our top 2 are out right now, I would like to see that happen. So I'm gonna go Peyton Lewis.
I like. He's already essentially, I don't know if carrying you is the right word, but he's easily the dude playing the best on the defense. Boo Carter.
Oh, I know.
Having himself a game so far. Interception, really great punt returns, just bringing the heat in that entire first half. Some really nice tackles. I mean, dude is just playing up to the level that the hype that he came in with. He was a big-time recruit. True freshman. So exciting. I mean, you get this kid for 2 more years. What a blessing for Tennessee. And so I'll go there. Maybe Jermod McCoy, somebody on defense that just keeps stepping up, because you're kind of crushing them on defense, at least on the defensive line. Just keep it up. Stop losing contain. Don't let this kid run on you.
Yeah.
And I'll say whoever might be the spy on Van Buren.
Yes.
We need that kid to step up.
Hey, we're going to kick the crap out of them. We know that. That Van Buren kid, he's an athlete though, man. Like I was impressed watching him play. I was impressed watching it to be a true freshman. Yes. I was impressed watching his composure. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. This is a whole different conversation, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is in the portal going to a better school next year. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised.
What would be a better school?
Anybody.
Sorry, Van Buren. I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like anybody. Like I'm just saying that I've liked watching him play because he's getting the piss kicked out of him tonight.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be a tough spot to be in. To just like everybody around, like you were saying. I mean, he's running for his life because everybody around him is just subpar, and it's a tough situation for Mississippi State. Obviously, we know the whole tragic situation that led to where they are right now, and and I do think that I don't mind Lebby as their coach. I think he's going to be able to do good things. Yeah. And if you watch this, and this brings into the conversation about us, and like with Tennessee, if you look at his offensive system, it's very similar to Lane Kiffin, very similar to Oregon, very similar to a lot of like that style stuff. They're just more exciting to watch offensively. Am I wrong in saying that? No, it is.
I know that I'm not taking anything away from winning the game. I'm just saying from a fan's perspective, and being excited to see the game. I mean, look at Ole Miss today. Ole Miss shouldn't have been on the field with Georgia. I know it was a rainstorm, blah, 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 but creativity and getting matchups and getting guys open without just lining up in the same formation won them that ball game.
And then especially in a game like this where you just have superior athletes all over the field, like it almost feels like you could essentially just toy around with these guys on offense. And like it feels like you should just be able to put up whatever number
exactly.
You want to. And just for some reason it's like it's just not exactly there. But I mean, ultimately, like we're saying, you're probably going to score 40 in this one.
And I'm not saying it about just today, because like we're gonna, if we don't score 40, I would be, or maybe 50, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, something went wrong in the second half. Don't let that happen.
Yeah, I'm going back to the 3 weeks we didn't score in the first half, where we were beating our head against the wall just to beat our head against the wall.
But outside of the offense, I would challenge the defense in the second half. Don't break your 20-point streak, especially Yeah, I mean, if you get up by enough to where the scrubs are coming in, like still play with pride and make sure that's a goal, because it's awesome. It's an awesome thing that they've done so far this season.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I'm not talking about this game per se, because we're going to do what we want offensively this game. But the couple prior to this, we didn't do anything offensively in the first half, like at all. And I guess that's my thing, is like watching these other teams play that still run spread systems, like full blown spread, like only under center on 4th and 1 or on the half-yard line like us. Sometimes it's just a bit more fun to watch, because you go, oh man, look, they're putting, player A in this position because of look at that matchup. They're doing this, look at that matchup. We're doing the same thing over and over.
And now with this one, I would almost say, like, don't throw too much out there, because almost what's the point? But I would like, for my own entertainment, I'd like to see it. But
that's what I'm saying. Go kick the piss out of them, because if we take care of business today, go finish the game. We take care of business tomorrow, we're going to Atlanta.
Yeah,
I mean tomorrow. Sorry, but you know what I'm saying. We take care, and we're good with that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the post game. Charlie Burris, former Vols quarterback, Jonathan Crompton will break down win, lose, draw, and you better not lose. Good Lord. We will be here in the post game to talk probably more about the Georgia game than almost anything else. We'll break it all down. So join us back where you're watching this, and we will talk to y'all in just a little bit.